It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Talkback. It's Thursday morning. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell, and so glad that you could be with us here today. We're looking forward to having a great show, and most importantly, that you are part of it here on Talkback. Our number, as per usual, 318-442-8255 on the BOM Bank Talk Line, and we'd love to have you join us in the conversation. We've got a few minutes right now before we have some guests coming up at 7:30, and we'll tell you about that in just a moment. And then at 8:05, we'll have Dr. Jimmy Sawtelle, the chancellor from CLTCC, who yesterday announced his retirement.
I know.
Did that catch you by surprise?
Yes. Hate it. But I'm
Yeah.
glad for him. It's weird. You know what I mean.
Right. He's been in higher education for more than 30 years, I think 33 years to be exact. And we'll find out why he feels like it's time. Time to ride off into the sunset.
Maybe we can get him to change his mind.
We could add him as the third host here on Talkback.
That's what I'm saying. He has more time to talk baseball or something.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to getting to that conversation with Jimmy Sawtelle. Again, that will be coming up at about 8:05 with you here this morning. And then I'm trying to find the email. There it is, coming up in just a few moments. We will be talking with Dr. Paul Carell from LSUA, also Dr. Sharon Dunn and Dr. Sarah Walters, who are both with LSU Health Shreveport. There's a new partnership between the two academic institutions, if you will. It's a 3+3 pathway that they call it for students to get a bachelor's and a doctor of occupational therapy in 6 years. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll have that coming up for you in just a few moments. But as I mentioned again, 442-8255. So, man, place to be today might be in Milwaukee.
That's what I hear. You can get a cheeseburger or
Free
something.
burgers.
My goodness.
Yeah, at George Webb. The Brewers have won 12 in a row. So this goes back to the 1940s. That's when the Milwaukee Brewers were actually a minor league franchise. And there's a chain of eateries, kind of a breakfast/burger place. It's open 24 hours a day. Just, your little classic American grill cafe type place. And the owner back then guaranteed the Brewers would win 12 in a row. And if they ever did, they would give out free hamburgers to people. Well, he didn't have to actually make good on that promise until 1987, when the Brewers won their 12th in a row to start the 1987 season with a walk-off home run on Easter Sunday, a 2-run homer by Dale Swaim. Game I was at, by the way, sitting up in the left center field bleachers.
What'd you eat yesterday?
I should have a burger in their honor. So that was.
I was saying you can't remember that, but you can remember.
Oh, what I had yesterday. Actually, yesterday I ate at Pop's Place. Had the chicken fried steak.
Oh, how was that? I'm dying to go there.
It was good.
I would love to go.
It was fire, as the kids say.
Well, you would have let me know.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did a department thing for LC, so you wouldn't have been invited.
That's true. I was there long ago.
You wouldn't have come anyway. You're too busy.
I'm still paying my dues there every month.
Yeah, so you are.
I could get
Thank you for your contribution.
Place.
By the way, that's true. So the next time the Brewers won 12 in a row was the 2018 season. They actually had won several games to end the regular season, and then won the first few in the playoffs. But the owner honored that, and then yesterday, beating the Pirates, they got up 6-0, and everyone's like, "Oh, we got this. We got free burgers coming." And then the Pirates got 2 home runs in the 5th and 6th inning, both from Brian Reynolds. He's, when you have a favorite baseball team, there's always that one guy that always kills your team.
Yeah.
For us, for the Brewers, it's always been Brian Reynolds of the Pirates. He's like Babe Ruth when he plays the Brewers.
Yeah.
So they made it 6-5, and then they scored 6 more runs to win 12-5. So they won their 12th in a row by scoring 12 runs on 12 hits.
That's amazing.
That's kind of cool.
I hope y'all do well. I hope this translates into October for you.
I hope so, too, because right now they're the best team in baseball by quite a bit.
That's what I hear. I heard them on the radio this morning.
And the poor Dodgers continue to scuffle. They lost last night to the Angels. Shohei, facing his former team, he pitched in that game, and they got him out to a lead, and then the Angels came back, and they won the game.
Just the way it's gonna go though.
Yeah.
They're so talented, right?
Yeah. Best team money can buy.
Yeah, right. Hey, breaking news: Plainview High is closed this morning because of no
Plainview?
water service. The storms last night
No.
knocked out the
Really?
water service, so they are closed today. According to the school board, I didn't even know it was bad weather down there.
Wow.
So,
Well, the way we've had the weather the last few days is it just kind of depends where you are, and all of a sudden you're getting these pop-up storms, and some of them can be pretty severe for sure. Yeah, I'm seeing that press release that went out this morning. So if you go to Plainview High School, sleep in.
yep.
I'm sure the kids hate that.
I'm sure they're so disappointed. Maybe they are just because it's the beginning, but probably not.
Yeah.
Also, last night, if you missed it, the town of Creola in Grant Parish, they voted to have the Grant Parish Sheriff's Office take over law enforcement services in the town.
In Creola or
in
Colfax?
In Colfax.
Okay.
So from what I understand, and I didn't know the meeting was going on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not saying that was nefarious or anything. I just didn't know. I didn't see other media go either.
You were actually in Colfax yesterday.
Yeah, I was in the I know.
And nobody bothered to tell you.
Someone was like, hey. But it's probably a controversial topic.
Yeah.
So sometimes that happens. Anyway, apparently the police force was either let go or some resigned. I'm trying to figure that out today. I'm going to try and head up this morning. But the sheriff did tell me that they will assume services of law enforcement services in the town. He said he offered them a couple options, two of them being or three of them. First, he wanted to do full-time 24/7 service. They declined that. The second was either 3 officers or deputies or 2 deputies. They opted for 2 for now, and then in a month they're going to look at it, maybe do a third, just depending on how it works. But money's always an issue, right?
Sure, yeah.
So that's the issue. From what I understand, there's been issues with Colfax for a little while here. So we'll try and figure out get some answers. I'll reach out to the mayor.
Yeah, I had somebody asking me yesterday, so are the Colfax police different from the Grant Parish Sheriff's Office? I said yes. One is the local municipalities police. The other is for the whole parish. So
that's something that gets confused quite often.
Right.
Yeah. And each state has different things too.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, here in Rapides Parish, you have, of course, your municipal police departments, Alexandria, Pineville, Ball, what have you, and then of course you have RPSO, and they do work a lot together. So I guess in this case, GPSO able to come in and help out and keep the law and order there in Colfax, which is where actually the sheriff's office is located, by the way.
Yeah, they're right down the road. And but yeah, usually the sheriff's office around here, they kind of fill the gaps in the rural areas. That's kind of how it works. Like where I'm from in Allen Parish, we don't have a police force or a mayor or a council, so we just Allen Parish Sheriff takes care of everything there.
Yeah. Or you just kind of do what you want.
That's pretty much how it works. It's like the Wild West out there.
People police themselves.
You talk about, your conservative anarchy mecca there. We're out there just doing our own thing.
Speaking of which, I was in a retail outlet the other day, and there's a young man in there, and he was strapped up with a 6-shooter with a holster and everything, and he's wearing his cowboy boots and cowboy hat, and I was like, dang, I actually feel safe in here.
He came in through the saloon doors. Huh?
They did.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that.
I actually was tempted to ask him. I wanted to see his gun, but then I'm like, probably wouldn't be a good idea to have him take it out of the holster and show off.
Hey, sir, can I touch your gun?
Right.
What's that nifty device you have?
That probably would have been sort of strange, but it looked, because you don't normally see people with like a 6-shooter,
I know.
It looked like that classic wood handle and everything.
One thing I wish was normalized was like the cowboy boots more and like that Western look around here. I'm not going to be the trailblazer for that, but I think it looks cool.
Have you ever had cowboy boots?
Oh yeah.
You had the ones with like kind of the square end though, didn't you? Not like
I've had a bunch.
Oh really?
Yeah, a lot of them were like work boots too.
Back when you were like line dancing and stuff?
Yeah, I never line danced. Or dance, period, voluntarily.
Speaking of which, did you see George Strait will be getting a Kennedy Award honor?
I saw that. He's the greatest musician of all time.
It's kind of crazy that
it took this
hasn't
long.
Gotten. Yeah.
I don't know what the Kennedy Center honors are, to be completely honest with you.
Right.
I've never cared about them.
Well,
but if there's a music award and he's just now getting it, it probably was irrelevant.
It's kind of a foo-foo-y type thing. higher society, I would say, Washington, D.C., blah, blah, blah.
I gotcha.
Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. They honor 5 honorees every year. I remember a few years ago, probably the coolest one I remember is when Obama was president, and they inducted or honored Led Zeppelin, but they had Ann and Nancy Wilson from Heart do Stairway to Heaven, and then they had like this choir behind them singing, and then John Bonham's son playing the drums. Bonham was the original drummer for Zeppelin, and he died in the 80s. So they had his son playing drums.
Oh, that's cool.
But if you've never seen that video, it's phenomenal.
It's emotional.
Yeah, even made Robert Plant cry. Like he's up in they have like the little box thing, kind of like in the Muppet Show, the 2 old guys.
Yeah.
So they had the 3 surviving members of Zeppelin up there, and you could tell they were just moved by it. So President Trump yesterday announced that they have 5 winners this year, and then he also mentioned that he's never won, and he wanted to win.
What does he want to win?
It was so fun. I'll have to find the clip.
So here's the thing, and I know some of it's just like tongue in cheek sometimes too, or just to get people mad. Like I'm well aware of that, but like they're always like railing against the national media or the Kennedy Center or these liberal outlets. Like, why don't we get fair representation? And they're painting him this. Who cares? He won the presidency twice. He lost and then won again. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. It's almost irrelevant what the New York Times thinks of you.
That's true.
It's just a victim play to make it look like he's fighting against the people. Like, it's just kind of getting ridiculous. Who cares about the New York Times or the Kennedy Center or the Wall Street Journal?
Well, they revamped the Kennedy Center because they found there was a lot of corruption with the spending and et cetera, et cetera. But the 5 people that are going in, George Strait, Gloria Gaynor, who was kind of a disco maven back in the 70s. Michael Crawford, people remember him best from being the singer in Phantom of the Opera. Sylvester Stallone, hey yo, well deserved.
I like a good Stallone.
And last but not least, Kiss.
What about Mini
want to rock and roll? What? I know. Yes, you're right.
Kiss out there.
Mini Kiss should also get like they should get like a mini Kennedy Award. That would be awesome if they did that.
I do like Kiss. I love Kiss. I love George Strait. Stallone's great. I don't know the others, but that's awesome. Good for them, I guess, if that makes them happy.
All right. Well, we're just warming things up here on the old show. As I mentioned, we've got a pretty good segment coming up next. We'll tell you about a special partnership that has been announced between LSU Alexandria and also the LSU Health Shreveport. So we'll take a quick break and come back with those interviews right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Paramount plans to roll out more films and will make Top Gun 3 a priority now that Skydance Media has taken control of the studio. CEO David Ellison says he'll create more content for the company's Paramount Plus streaming service and produce as many as 20 movies a year. More titles from Star Trek will also be a priority. Southwest Airlines continues to pull back on its sustainability initiatives. The airline has sold a renewable fuels unit to Conestoga Energy, a provider of low-carbon intensity biofuel. Conestoga said it bought Sapphire Renewables from Southwest, but did not say how much it paid. The sale is part of Southwest's broader pullback from sustainability initiatives, which began earlier this year. Stock futures are little changed as investors watch for another inflation reading this morning. The July report on wholesale prices. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ rose to another new record high yesterday. The Dow had a strong session. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds again for us on this Thursday. Afternoon highs up near 91, maybe 92 degrees. We'll put about a 40 to 50% chance of some mainly afternoon afternoon, showers or thunderstorms. They could carry over to the early evening hours as well. We'll see the overnight lows down to 74. Partly cloudy skies. Again, the possibility of more showers and thunderstorms on Friday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talk back. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, we are back here on your Thursday morning out quarter. I'm Stephen Maxwell, and very pleased to have with us in the studio 3 guests here this morning. Dr. Paul Carell from LSU Alexandria, and from LSU Health Shreveport, we have Dr. Sharon Dunn and Dr. Sarah Walters. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you all with us here today. So it's an exciting day. I know later today you'll have kind of the formal ceremony set, but you're here to announce a new collaborative effort between LSU Health Shreveport and LSUA. Dr. Carell, help me get you started and tell us a little bit about what this is.
Well, we see the advantages of being with the LSU system to make sure we offer to our students in Central Louisiana career opportunities in the health field. And LSU Health Shreveport is really willing to be a strong partner in helping our region. And we've done this with UNIS. We've done it with the dental school, as you know, with dental hygienists and search technology. So this is just another of an example of working together within the LSU family and making sure we bring degree opportunities that help our people here and our students with careers in the health field.
So this is what they call a 3+3 agreement. Explain exactly what that means. I guess we'll have Dr. Dunn explain what exactly is a 3+3 besides 6.
Well, and 6 is the total number of years it will take to earn a doctoral degree in occupational therapy, which is an innovative / contemporary terminal degree for the profession of occupational therapy. And it's a natural partnership with LSUA because they've done it before with dental hygienists and surge techs with both LSU Health New Orleans and LSUE. So they're teaching us how to assure that students have access to higher education and a shortened time to completion of an advanced degree. So what it means for students is less educational debt. And we're excited about that because of the current economy around higher education, families having to negotiate the price of higher education. And we wanted to be on the cutting edge of assuring that our students graduate with a debt to income ratio that makes the degree valuable. So we're thrilled about this partnership.
Yeah, we always hear a lot about like physical therapy. Tell us about occupational therapy and why it would be a good career choice.
Yeah, so occupational therapy, our profession as a whole, is all about helping people engage in life in activities they find meaningful to them. That looks different all across the lifespan. It might be helping a child with autism thrive in the school environment, an older adult be able to live as independently as possible for as long as they can, helping work with someone who has had a stroke through that recovery process or any type of acquired injury. For us, kind of the misnomer is that occupation is work, but for us as a profession, your occupations are anything that is meaningful to you. And so that might be the simple things like brushing your teeth, being able to feed yourself, to being able to go to work, drive to work, manage your finances, and all the things that are required to live independently and participate in day-to-day life.
And something you don't think about, too, is they do help toddlers and children who might have some sort of delay or something with, like, eating with a spoon or something. There's a wide variety of things it can help with.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
So for a 3+3, how does it work from a practical standpoint? So the student will go to LSUA for 3 years, get a bachelor's degree, and then come to LSU Health and do 3 years to get the doctorate degree. Is that right?
So they'll do their first 3 years at LSUA and meet all the admission requirements. And so at that point, they can apply early without that bachelor's degree.
Gotcha.
And if they're accepted, then LSUA will take the first year of the OTD curriculum as transfer credits and award that bachelor's degree at that time. So they're still able to get 2 degrees. It's not just the doctorate as well.
Awesome. Wow.
And I'll add, if they're TOPS eligible, they have that additional 4th year of TOPS to apply to that graduate degree. So that, in addition, will cut that educational expense.
Right.
The key to the theme of this is really tearing down old silos that have existed.
Yeah.
Where universities operated totally independent of one another. And, we may accept the credits from your university, we may not. Or do we work together? No, you got to go there. You can't work with us here. And making that much more transparent and easy to transfer credits. I mean, we got to do a better job of helping students have a clear path to the career. And right now, the hospital administrators, I was talking about that in the lobby, they're begging for more doctors and more specialists in the health field. And we got to do a better job of helping meet that need. And we had wings of the hospitals closed, during COVID and after because they couldn't get staff. And occupational therapy is crucial to our community. So we want to meet that need. Workforce development is really a core part of the mission of higher ed, just like it is for all higher education. And that focus has become much more important in the last several years, and it will continue to be. What are the needs of the community, and how can we produce students with graduate degrees that meet those needs? There has to be a clear connection there.
We had Rapides Parish Schools on yesterday, how they're working with different employers here in the area to get some good training while they're in school. It just seems like education around here is getting more practical.
It is. Well, it's more realistic to the needs of the community. And we work with Jeff Powell very closely as well. I mean, particularly with nursing. We have a shortage of nurses, and y'all know we're getting ready to build a downtown health center. But this whole focus on health care and the lack of professionals in that field is a crisis. I mean, it's nice to do it, but it's also crucial to the quality of life of our community. And, we all live here. I mean, so this is our home, and we want to have excellent health care. And so we take it personally as well, not just as a job. It's part of our vocation, really.
Awesome. I was reading, too, that occupational therapy is one of those careers that is projected to grow even more in the coming years.
Right.
How much is it expected to grow, and what do you guys think is the reason for that growth factor?
I think one of the biggest things is recognition of the scope of practice that we have and so many roles that we can fill, not only in the immediate healthcare system, but also in our local communities. We're a very holistic profession, and so that breadth of what we do is being more recognized and valued in the healthcare system. From a patient-centered, client-centered perspective.
So I think when people hear LSU Health, they think about the medical school. So Ms. Sharon, explain a little bit more about what LSU Health Shreveport is and does.
LSU Health Shreveport has 3 schools. We have a School of Medicine, and we have a School of Graduate Studies, which are primarily basic and bench researchers. And then we have a School of Health Professions and Sciences, which includes 10 occupations that are critical to the wraparound services for healthcare, whether it's prevention or rehabilitation. We have a PhD in rehabilitation sciences now. We have a public health program, speech and language pathology, physical therapy. We even have a physician assistant program. So it's a broad and diverse collection of disciplines that are critical to life. And so physicians and surgeons save lives, and these professions return people to life after an event or an illness. And it's wonderful to partner with LSUA and what Chancellor Carell has been. I think he's plowed some very hard ground to make education practical, and we're learning from him. A lot of the impetus for innovation in our School of Health Professions and Sciences, has come from the master plan from the Board of Regents to make higher education accessible to more people and adult learners and other people who need access to education. So in a strategic planning event that we had in our school 3 years ago, we talked about access and how to be more creative in assuring everybody has an opportunity to these professions. So we're thrilled to partner with someone who's done it and has forged some leadership in this area.
And one other thing we need to point out, it's not just high school graduates that we're talking about. This may be an adult that's in a profession now. A lot of adults in Louisiana have college credits but never got a degree. And right now they're thinking, what can I do that would be a good investment of my time and my resources for a career? Here's a good one.
Occupational therapy.
Yeah, occupational therapy. And here we are setting up the path that would make it much easier for you to do it and much quicker. So someone that's on a job now that's thinking, I want to change what I'm doing. I'd like to be in the health professions. You know, even if they're an adult with children or the children have left and they have college credits, some of those credits will transfer. And that's what the Board of Regents asked us to do. Look at that population of adults that are out there that have credits that never really completed a degree. So we're focused on them as well as the high school graduates with Jeff and the Rapides Parish School Board.
So you have a formal signing coming up today for this?
Yeah, we have a formal signing. We're going to have lunch together and we're going to strategize on how do we get more and more students interested in this field.
Great.
I'm just curious because I know a lot of like OTAs, some of my best friends are. Is there like a way for them to kind of use this program to go back and maybe expedite the process to be an OT?
We have had OTAs who came back and entered into the doctorate program. A lot of OTAs will go through a bridge program that ULM offers.
Okay.
So it really just kind of depends on where they're at and what their needs are.
Lots of options. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, it's very exciting news. Again, a 3+3 program between LSUA and LSU Health Shreveport. Lots of connections with this interview, as well as Miss Sharon is actually the sister of Dennis Dunn, who was the longtime football coach at LCU, and whose granddaughter, Lauren, used to anchor the 10 o'clock news at KALB with Stephen Maxwell.
I ran into her in Shreveport a couple times. So.
Yeah.
She is an amazing human being.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so proud of my niece and got 3 daughters of her own as an educator at this point. But I think she was a natural broadcast journalist.
Seriously.
Oh, totally.
Y'all doing a great job. You just need to probably hire a new PR person. He's over at LSU Health, so he's a little trouble.
Mark Klein.
Yeah, I don't know about him.
Yeah.
He's outstanding. Our AV has gone way up in quality since Mark joined our team.
He's the best. He's very talented. So
Mark and Stephen, 2 of my all-time greatest students at LCU. So awesome. Well, thank you all for being here this morning. We really enjoyed talking with you. Congratulations on the agreement, and hope it means a lot of great moments. Dr. Paul Carell, Dr. Sharon Dunn, Dr. Sarah Walters, thank you all for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
More talk back coming up right after this.
KSYL.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit beaverlakerenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
All right, we are back. Alan Stephen with you at 442-8255 here on Talkback. Dr. Carell, while you're sitting there, we have Jimmy Sawtelle coming up at 8:05 after announcing his retirement. Just a quick word, your thoughts on his announcement.
Well, we're going to miss Jimmy, but I know he's not leaving the community, which is a blessing for me and for all of us. Jimmy's still going to help us. I hope that he finds a role that he can play, not only as a good friend of mine, but also as a leader in the community. And I know he's going to have opportunities, but he's been a wonderful addition to higher ed in Central Louisiana. And he'll continue to be. And he and I are going to continue to work together, I know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we will retreat this past weekend together in Grand Coteau. And great guy, and we were fortunate to have him as long as we had him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Well said.
We
All
have
right.
the best chancellors and presidents here in town. So
We
they
do.
do a great job.
We do.
So.
He loves what he does, and everybody sees it. So,
Yeah.
God bless Jimmy Sawtelle.
Yes, sir.
Good to
Thank
see
you,
you.
Dr.
Thank
Correll.
you.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, 442-8255. And I think we have calling in special guest Chuck Owen, state representative for Leesville and DeRidder. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I really enjoyed that segment. That is an amazing step forward for all of Louisiana.
Oh, it really is. And I think what Dr. Correll said is really the key there, that it's breaking down those silos where even within the LSU system, there haven't been that many partnerships. And I think that's what they're trying to change right now.
It is, and I think we need to. In fact, I know of other places in the state where we're actually intermingling both the community college system and the higher ed system in the same spots.
Right.
We don't need academic Talibans.
Right.
These people set these fiefdoms up over many decades, and it's like this is my turf, you can't have my turf, and we're not going to get along. And it is so good to have someone like Paul Correll at the helm and all the other folks. But I have bad news for Jimmy Sawtelle. I'm headed to the Capitol, and we're going to disapprove his retirement.
That's what I'm saying. Can we get a lawn place or something?
Yes. He needs to give us a couple of more years. So no, that's great for Jimmy. That's he has been a jewel in the crown of the state, and in his role especially.
Yeah, I know that the Leesville campus used to be part of CLTCC, but that's changed now to the Southwest system. So you obviously have had some dealings with him in the past.
Sure have. Yep. And he is ever present at the Capitol when decisions are being made, and they did some, I don't want to say some chair shuffling a few years ago, but just realigning to where things fit better geographically. I think the changes are good, and the people, Lamar Salter over there in Leesville, do a really, really good job working through Soello, and there's some exciting news coming there in a few months. We can't release it yet, but when we do, we'll let you guys know. There's big changes heading there too.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
So you're heading down to Baton Rouge. What's going on down there today that's requiring your presence?
Today we have a school safety task force that was set up to review kind of the side pictures of where we are with public school safety, and we're going to have the state police there and Homeland Security folks there, and Chairman Rick Evans from the Senate is in charge of this, and so I've just been asked to sit in as a utility infielder, which I normally am anyway.
What are some things you'd like to see maybe improved upon when it comes to that, or any added safety measures? It's funny that you say that. Me and my wife were talking about school safety for some reason this morning before coming into work. What are some things you'd like to see?
When bad guys don't know the sight picture of what they're walking into, a lot of times they're less liable for doing it. In fact, my wife and I were talking about it last night. There was a show on it was national news a few weeks ago about a company in Texas that's selling drone kits for schools. I don't know if y'all saw any of that.
I did not.
But they basically have like a swarm of 3 or 4 drones that they're prototyping, and they have a team that that manages them. If someone's got an emergency, they flip a switch, and the drones get activated, and they go to the spot in school where there's a problem. Now, the technology is being tested. There's a lot of belief that it might work, but the whole idea of it being there, or the thought of it being there, might deter someone. So the schools need to be protected with resource officers, and those guys need to be visible. And the school systems need to be judicious in their practices of muscle movement, and in preparing for bad moments, because you don't know when they're going to come.
Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised. I went up to Georgetown High School. They just built a brand new building after being damaged by Hurricane Laura and Delta. And they have like these metal detectors. They have what they call like a man trap room or something. So there's this secured room before you even go into the school.
Wow.
In just a rural community like Georgetown. So I think a lot of places are modernizing for sure.
That's interesting.
It's a rough and dangerous world we live in, and we have to do right as best we can to protect those among us who we're responsible for. And I think our school systems are wise to look at such things.
Hey, Chuck, I have to get this break in, but we should have a few minutes on the other side. Can you hang with us through it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, we'll be right back. More Talk Back on the way here on KSYL.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Success is about momentum. For over 20 years, Kinetics has been moving businesses forward with cutting-edge IT, cybersecurity, and marketing solutions while keeping them secure, innovative, and competitive. We power progress with next-gen business technology and marketing solutions designed to keep your business ahead of the competition. Need seamless IT, a bold new brand, a strategy built for what's next? Don't get left behind. Move forward with Kinetics. Visit kbisp.com and take the next step today.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Sinaloa's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you. We got about 3 minutes left in this hour, and we're talking with Chuck Owens, State Representative for House District 30. Chuck, we know you've been on the forefront with the carbon capture issue, several bills that you sponsored in this last legislative session that didn't make it out of committee. Were really designed just to give more local control. What are you hearing? What's the latest in terms of Vernon Parish with this continued effort?
I continue to hear about firms that want to bring their captured carbon and put it in Vernon Parish. That is my biggest concern, is that at the outset, it's a great big dump. It means one great big below ground waste site from waste streams from 3 or 4 different plants and actually different industries. And that's very disconcerting to me. And I'm trying to look at that, have people look at that from the technical side, because it's never been done. So that worries me. Mm-hmm. But there is news that is percolating about an industry wanting to come to Vernon Parish and locate to Vernon Parish. But a component of their desire is, if they come and they bring a wood processing facility to Vernon Parish, part of their deal is they have to be able to sequester their carbon. So the dynamics of the discussion are changing over there. I remain resolutely committed to getting local option bills passed. And I believe the citizens of Lavoyles, of Rapides, of Grant, of Vernon, or wherever someone wants to have this, that the citizens need to decide if they want this, and it not be forced on them by government edict and absent landowners. I am fine with people doing what they want with their property, but if I do something on my property and there's a chance it's going to harm yours, then we got to have a referee in the middle. So I look at the citizens kind of as that referee and the police jury. I think we should have more momentum to get that done next time. I want the citizens of each parish to decide what business. Look, it was just 2 years ago, Al, that the citizens of Beauregard finally voted to have parish-wide liquor sales.
Right. Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
They voted parish-wide liquor. Look, we have a tradition of deciding what business goes on in a parish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe in that, and I trust in our citizens to make this decision. So that's going to continue to be my effort.
I think that you might be getting more play with that too, because we talked to some Senate candidates and current senators, and they all kind of have that same sentiment. They say, if you want it, you want it. If you don't want it, you don't want it.
That's exactly right. I have been very encouraged what Dr. Fleming's been saying. I don't know if y'all have talked to Senator Miguez yet. I think he'll be saying similar things. And so that could be an issue in the Senate race, but it'll be an issue where this issue is an issue, right? Statewide, if this isn't happening in Richland Parish, they're going to look at you like a dog looking at a new pan if you ask them about it. But if it's in a parish where this is going on, people are paying attention.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we're running out of time, Chuck. We always enjoy catching up with you. Let us know the next time we can have you on the show, hopefully for a little bit longer.
I'll do it.
All right, sounds good. Drive safe.
Take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Coming up, 8:05. Dr. Jimmy Sawtell, the retiring chancellor of CLTCC. We always look forward to our conversations with him. That's coming up in just a few minutes after the top of the hour news here on Talkback.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump is adjusting expectations for his face-to-face with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. He's no longer promising to hash out a land swap with Ukraine. Instead, he's pitching it as a listening session. As for formatics, correspondent Nancy Cordes is in Anchorage.
We're getting some new details this morning from the Kremlin about how these talks are supposedly going to go down tomorrow. They say that Presidents Trump and Putin are going to meet one-on-one first with only their translators present before the meetings broaden out into a wider group that includes their top advisors. And then they say that Putin is going to participate in a joint news conference with President Trump.
Parts of New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware all drying out after heavy rain that triggered flash flooding overnight. Tropical storm Erin continues to strengthen in the Atlantic. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
We expect it to get to hurricane strength by late tomorrow and then major hurricane by early Sunday or late in the day on Sunday. And the track takes it just north of Puerto Rico. But I do think that Puerto Rico will see some impacts with this.
A new report is raising a red flag over severe staffing shortages at veterans hospitals.
The Inspector General at the Department of Veterans Affairs says 94% of VA medical facilities face a severe shortage of doctors. 79% need more nurses. The VA's press secretary claims the report is unreliable. The agency is cutting 30,000 employees department-wide. Nurse Tashara Felder says her VA medical center in Atlanta is already shorthanded.
The bedside care, the boots-on-ground care is declining.
VA Secretary Doug Collins says the cuts will not affect patient care. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A flight from Norfolk to L.A. made an emergency landing in Grand Junction, Colorado.
The passenger is free and is using what they were trying to restrain him with as a weapon.
The Breeze Air pilot on liveatc.net as a passenger got out of control. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
The FBI identified the passenger as 46-year-old David Leroy Carter. Local police say he allegedly waved his skateboard and shouted racial slurs at flight attendants while intoxicated.
When he broke out of his restraints, a fellow passenger stepped in and held him down. And you thought you'd heard the last of this, kitty ditty. South Korea's top court has just thrown out a 6-year copyright claim against Baby Shark's producers. It's ruled against U.S. children's entertainer John Wright, stage name Johnny Only. He sued the Korean brand Pinkfong. It turned the tune into a viral hit. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. Infections caused by flesh-eating bacteria, Vibrio vulnificus, are on the rise in Louisiana. Here's Colleen Crane.
We've seen a total of 20 cases so far this year, whereas typically at this time we see fewer than 10 cases.
State epidemiologist Teresa Sokol says Vibrio thrives in warm, salt, and brackish waters like those in the Gulf. People become infected by eating raw seafood from exposed waters, but most often when an open wound is exposed to them. Sokol strongly advises.
Stay out of salt or brackish water if you have a wound.
Or at least cover the wound with a waterproof bandage. I'm Colleen Crane.
Baton Rouge Community College celebrated the opening of its new $35 million nursing and allied health building. Officials say it's a much-needed upgrade that features simulated surgical settings and other healthcare programs to help address the nationwide nursing shortage. It was funded in part by a $12 million donation from Our Lady of the Lake Health, LRN.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season. So get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds again for us on this Thursday afternoon. Highs up near 91, maybe 92 degrees. We'll put about a 40 to 50% chance of some mainly afternoon showers or thunderstorms. They could carry over to the early evening hours as well. We'll see the overnight lows down to 74. Partly cloudy skies. Again, the possibility of more showers or thunderstorms on Friday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, hey, welcome back, everyone, for hour number 2 of Talkback here on your Thursday morning. I'm Al Quartermont, along with Stephen Maxwell, and glad that you could be with us. Our phone number, 442-8255, but right now our phone line is a little bit occupied. You might have seen the news that came out yesterday, announced from Central Louisiana Technical Community College, that after a career in higher education that has been more than 3 decades, Chancellor Jimmy Sawtelle announces his intention to retire coming up in the spring of next year. And Jimmy Sawtelle joins us on the phone this morning. He's been a frequent guest here on this program. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Stephen. So good to hear y'all. Wonderful segment with Dr. Paul Carell. And thank you so much, Dr. Carell, for your kind words and for y'all even bringing me up in that conversation. You know, and I think about the interview y'all had yesterday with our Lindsey Green and Superintendent Jeff Powell. I don't know if a media outlet gives more due to the demand for workforce development and how we are all responding to it together. But it's good to hear from y'all this morning. How's it going?
Good. And you unfortunately couldn't be in the studio today because you're down in Baton Rouge.
I am. I think I beat Representative Owen to Baton Rouge, but he was also very kind in his words. I hope you guys are doing as good as the 12 consecutive straight win Brewers.
Better than the Dodgers. Let's put it that
way. We dropped into second place yesterday,
I saw that.
and it like you said earlier, the best team that money can buy can't even deliver. But my Dodgers. But,
Jimmy, we all know that the Dodgers are going to beat the Brewers sometime in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm already setting myself up for the heartbreak.
Playoffs? How dare you try and live? How dare you try and live your best life and retire? We're so upset with you.
Yeah.
Look, it is. I heard you say earlier we're gonna get to the bottom of this, and it's simple. First off, I could not be more grateful. We could not have done anything that we did at CLTCC. And it's, when I came back to the college in 2014, our prospects weren't great. We were in a challenged place, and people said we were like a wee little college. And we took that wee little college and we turned it into a capital W, capital E experience. Mm-hmm. Our team, the community, our partners, you guys, this community is custom made to support workforce development and those who want to work in it. This is a faith-based community, and when I pray and I think about what we do in our vocation, I think, God, it was your idea that people work 6 days and rest one. Help us all just to get there. And to have people to be in their vocation at their highest level possible. But I'm just so blessed. This has been an amazing ride. I love my job. I run to work every day, and it's thank y'all for what y'all do to support us.
So that leads to the natural question that I'm sure everyone is asking you: why?
Well, this has not been a decision that my wife Laura and I made lightly. For a considerable amount of time, we've been praying and just seeking the Lord's will where all of this is concerned. And recently we got word that this was just the timing. That college has never been in a better position, either financially or enrollment-wise or graduates-wise or community partners-wise. And I certainly want to pass the baton to someone when we're in the best place. And I never really saw myself as the chancellor. I saw myself more as the caretaker for the next chancellor. And we talk a little bit about where we started from back in 2014. I can't thank our partners enough, but we were not in the best place, and people have supported that, and they've supported us unconditionally in spite of where we came from. And I tell folks, we were kind of in the Grand Canyon, and our rocket didn't have a full tank of gas, but we had a lot of heart, and we made it to the moon. But this next administration is going to take it from the moon to Mars. I have every confidence. The team that we have there, 10-year veterans, 30-year veterans, and new exciting idea, rookies that are coming in and everything in between. But this community is something special. And my wife and I, we're going to live here for the rest of our lives. This is a slice of heaven on earth for us.
Mm-hmm. That's good news. We're happy about that, too. Maybe a little guest host here and there.
Oh, you never know. I mean, I hate the thought that either one of you wouldn't be on the mic, but I think right now I'm like sixth string, but, keep me on the roster.
You want to do Friday? I have to leave early. I'm going to tell you about that later.
Oh, lovely.
No, just kidding. So,
Coach Burns texted me. He wants you to know he's needing a bench coach.
Oh, good. Very good. Well, I would be water boy for Coach Burns, but I will take it.
That'd be a fun job. So, yeah, like you said, I remember when I was at the TV station and I would interview you back in those 2014-15 days, and we go down South MacArthur to where you're at now and where the CLTCC is now. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's grown leaps and bounds, and a lot of that is because of you, and we were all very lucky to have you.
Thank you. Those days where we transitioned, we had folks that were voices in the wilderness, like Louisiana Central, Rapides Foundation, Clico, Royal Martin, the Chamber, City of Alexandria, City of Pineville. They all knew that we had to have a comprehensive community college, and we just all put our efforts to get there. And, I hope that people see the last decade and not think about Jimmy Sautel per se, but I want them to think about, wow, the last decade, was a golden era that long may it last. When you think about what Dr. Paul Carell is doing at LSUA, and when you think about Jeff Powell and other superintendents like Dr. Aaron Stokes are doing in Rapides and Grant Parish, when you think about what LCU is doing with a new president who's energetic, made-for-TV president. I mean, he's just incredible. And you think of what Northwestern's doing out at the Cenla campus. This is everybody in the same boat, pulling the oars in the same direction at the same time. As Dr. Carell said earlier, he stole my line, we're more practical for the student so that they can streamline and get to their dream as quickly as they possibly can, as efficiently as they can. And I hope folks see, but all of these educational entities, all of our leaderships, they would be nothing without the student. We would be nothing without our partners, and just so many of them, from Cleco, Royal Martin, Gilchrist Construction, Crest Industries, Procter & Gamble. You know, just a lot of our great partners have just been there for us regionally, and you just can't put a price tag on that level of support. And the best way that we know to say thank you is just to keep producing graduates.
One thing that I've noticed too is a student in this area like 10, 12 years ago. Whenever I would think about schools in Central Louisiana, for the most part, back in the 2010, 11 days, it was just kind of like, last resort kind of thing. Now you can feel the energy. You can feel the different perspective that we're seeing from these different universities and colleges here in the area, and it's really amazing to see. It could be a lot of people's first choice now. It's exciting.
Thank you, Stephen. And it's great to hear the voice of somebody who's recently in university. But Dr. Carell said it best in his segment a little while ago. He was talking about LSU system, participating with each other, partnering with each other even more. LCTCS does that. But then think of the partnerships that we've had in every direction, the 2+2 agreements that are statewide that basically tell the student, if you start with the K-12 system, you're in high school, and you get a leg up on anywhere from 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 semesters, and then you come to CLTCC and you finish off that associate's degree. But then you go to one of our universities, our local universities like LSUA, LCU, Northwestern, etc. None of us are a terminal degree anymore. We are a streamlined and efficient way for young people to get to their dream, sometimes in their teens. We have folks 19 years old that have gotten a 2-year welding degree, and they go to work for UTLX, another wonderful partner. Wow. Hayes Manufacturing, another wonderful partner. So what we're able to do in reducing the red tape and increasing the opportunity, these leaders, there's something special.
I know that when you start talking about something like a retirement, you start to get in a little bit of a reflective mindset in some ways. When you look at CLTCC and the Jimmy Sawtelle era, I think 2 things will always kind of stand out. One will be the move to downtown, and then the second would be getting the SACS accreditation. Would you mark those as probably the 2 biggest accomplishments during your tenure?
Well, I'm going to answer that question reflectively and sentimentally, and I'm going to ask you to help me with this. Everybody remembers Independence Day, 1939, Yankee Stadium. Lou Gehrig gets up in front of a microphone in the canyon of Yankee Stadium, and you hear the fabled and echoed words that were delivered, and I'll let you deliver it because you probably say it much better than I do. What were those words?
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Perfect.
Even there with the echo.
The echo is even better. Thank you. But yes, today and every day, I've considered myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I love the Ministry of Education that we've all been a part of. And folks, don't discount Al as a professor, master degree professor at LCU. And so when you think about the flavor, all of us, really believe in just continuous professional improvement, performance, professional development from kindergarten all the way through a PhD. And so when I think back on and I reflect on what we've done, you've mentioned 2 biggies. And we also had 2 other building projects, one in Faraday, one in Winfield when I was here in 2011 and 2012. And then we have 2 more on the launching pad that could be in the ballpark of $35 to $50 million in Jena, Louisiana at our Rod Brady campus and in Cottonport at our Ward H. National Voiles campus. So I want to thank all of our local legislators for championing the cause for Senate Bill 72, now Act 35, where when all is said and done in a couple of years, we're going to have 5 campuses that still have that new car smell.
Wow. So is this going to be retirement, or are you maybe going to do something else? Any idea?
That is an excellent question, Stephen. And so Laura and I, my wife, we're going to probably spend a little time traveling and kind of renegotiating our relationship with time. And, Dr. Monty Sullivan and our board have been incredibly supportive of this decision. And I asked him, as long as I was chancellor, if I could run past the finish line. And he said, absolutely. And I can't thank him enough for that. But my wife, Laura, is now going to have to reflect and try to deal with twice as much husband and half as much paycheck.
Lucky her.
I'll pass that along.
Oh, my gosh. That's so funny. Well, we're excited for you because I know it's going to usher in a new chapter in your life. And if I know you, you're not going to just sit around. There'll be something else that you're led to do.
Thank you, Al. I mean, serving as chancellor has been the blessing, the privilege, and the honor of my career. I'm grateful for every colleague, every student, every partner who has shared in this incredible journey. The college is going to be in great hands. I'm excited to see what the future holds. Best way I can say it is I can hardly say that my dreams came true, because when I was younger, I did not dream this vividly or this big. It's just been an amazing ride, and we've got another 6 months together. So we'll certainly stay connected. Love Workforce Wednesday. Love what we do, and y'all just keep promoting the greatest community that God ever created in Central Louisiana, and I just look forward to being a part.
Absolutely. We have a call coming in. Let me go ahead and conference this and see. They may have somebody calling in for you. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Hello. Good morning. All right. Well, guess not.
Another satisfied customer.
Here I was thinking, maybe it's somebody calling in to congratulate him or what. Yeah, it's just blank.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, well.
Sometimes the phones get wonky.
So, thank you, Jimmy. We appreciate your time. Wish you could be here in the studio. I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I got to be honest. You should have told the folks who required you to come down to Baton Rouge today that you had an important interview to do, and you'd get down there when you could. After all, what are they going to do? Fire you?
I'm never going to stay on regular, in fact, like that. But yes, I should have told them that I had 2 important internationally known journalists, and they would have to just wait till I got there. You're right.
Well, we're not internationally known, but we're known to rock the microphone.
That's right.
That's right. You rock the mic right.
All right, Jimmy Sawtelle retiring from CLTCC. You'll still be around till about March, if not sooner.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And even though I'm a lame duck in the eyes of some, we still got a lot of quacking left to do. And just everybody come by, let's partner up. We're going to run past the finish line, and I'm certain that the next chancellor is going to do great things, but they're going to need everyone's help. If that chancellor gets the support that was bestowed to us over the last decade plus, then there's no way we're going to lose. The best is yet to come.
All right.
Awesome.
Very
Thanks,
good. Well, I know we'll talk with you again soon. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day down in the Capitol.
I'm going to try. Al, Stephen, thank y'all so much.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Dr. Jimmy Sawtelle, Chancellor of CLTCC, retiring from higher education. All right, we're going to take a break. More coming up here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics, with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Dentures. You can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if we told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this: in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
Tired of noisy neighbors? Want to keep pets in and problems out? Sounds like you need a Promo fence. At Promo Fencing and Lawn Care, our fences don't just work, they wow. From classic cedar and pine privacy fences to durable chain link, sleek metal, and aluminum, even decorative fencing. We've got something for every home, yard, or business, big or small, residential or commercial. All with free estimates, expert installs, and small town customer care. Promo Fencing and Lawn Care. Fences that feel like home.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
We are back here on your Thursday morning. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell with you. 442-8255 is our number on the BOM Bank Talk line. All right, rest of the show, we'll open it up for the calls. We haven't had too many so far this morning because we've had a number of guests calling in or in the studio. So looking forward to talking with the folks a little bit and see what is on your minds and hearts for today. Stephen, what do you have planned for today?
Goodness gracious, I have some interviews with some Zoom interviews. Can't really say yet, but some carbon capture stuff. I'm going to reach out to the town of Colfax about their situation with the police department. We learned from Sheriff Stephen McCain they had a meeting last night, the town council, and GPSO will take over law enforcement duties in the town of Colfax after the employees with the police department no longer work there. I don't want to say terminated or resigned because we don't really have clarity on that.
Yeah.
And a couple of other things.
Wait a minute. You're a journalist that actually wants to know the facts first before you report?
Yeah. There's things that I think I know, but I can't say because I just don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate that. Better to be right than to be first.
That's right.
And wrong.
That's right.
I wonder where you learned all
if
that.
it really matters, though, anymore, right?
Sometimes you wonder.
Spew stuff online.
Oh, I know.
People take it for fact.
People like to speculate on lots of different things.
I wish I could speculate and get away with it.
You know, while I was off Friday, Monday, Tuesday, off from here anyway, and I listened to the show, it's like, I'm always like, man, I wish I was on today. Because when you're talking to people, there are always questions that pop into my head that I wish I could ask. But a few things that kind of I was reflecting on when you had Bill Cassidy on, Senator Cassidy, and he was talking about the situation with RFK. It was interesting. He was talking about the vaccines and how China had developed a vaccine before. He said it this way: they unleashed the virus on the world, hoping to cripple our military. Did you catch that when he said that?
I thought it was like a hypothetical, like we need to keep up with what they're doing. Because I assumed that's what it was. But
okay. That's kind of how I took
thought
it
about
there.
it afterwards, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think RFK is... I didn't like the way he characterized that, because I don't think RFK is saying all vaccines are bad or we don't need vaccines. I think what he's trying to say is we need to make sure that vaccines are safe, that they get the proper testing. Because I remember even when he was campaigning for president and seeing some of the interviews, he had basically gotten... was it Fauci or somebody to admit that a lot of the vaccines that they even give to kids, for example, hadn't gone through the full rigors of testing. So to me, that's just what, and I've seen interviews where he talks about the heartbreak that it is for people that have autistic children and other people that have had children die at a very young age. I think that's all he's trying to do. So it's interesting that on one hand, he's definitely trying to sidle up to President Trump now, because I think he knows that people have not forgotten his vote to convict President Trump after the impeachment, the last impeachment. And he's trying to kind of make that, that's water under the bridge. And he and I are working together now. And if not for me, RFK wouldn't have gotten approved. But I mean, really, you could say that of every single senator that voted for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a tough hurdle to jump for him.
It is. It's going to be.
Yeah. And like, It's almost like the Republican Party is your platform now is how loyal you are to the executive. I think it's weird, but I get where people are coming from.
Kiss the ring, so to speak.
Kiss the ring kind of thing. That's just not very American in my opinion. But I get where people are coming from. You know, we elected somebody, let's get their agenda pushed through.
Yeah.
And people want that. Another thing with Cassidy, and I don't tell people how to do political messaging or anything because I'm not that smart with that kind of stuff. Just own up to it like, hey, that was a decision at the time. I don't have to agree with everything that everyone says, but right now we're looking to push through the agenda instead of just acting like it kind of never happened over
Right.
Like,
But
hey,
I
I
mean,
made that decision.
People kind of forget that Kennedy really distanced himself from Trump, too, because if you remember, before January 6th, there was even a push in the Senate to try to delay certifying the election until they took some time to investigate the allegations. And Kennedy was on board with that. But then as soon as the events happened on January 6th, he became very quiet and very distant. And you never really heard him talk about President Trump again.
Well, it was a tough spot to be in. Let's be honest. If you remember that, you know, whether you believe it's a conspiracy or not, it happened. I don't know if you want to call it insurrection or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But people stormed the Capitol, you know, and people died for whatever reason that was. That's still debated. But it was a big issue for sure.
Oh, I know. I mean, you see a lot on Twitter, people talking about, in some cases even people trying to show proof that they had requested more. Even Nancy Pelosi the other day tweeted something about January 6th, and then there was a guy, I think he was a member of the Capitol Police, who said that they had requested more help from the National Guard, and she turned it down. So, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot that hasn't been reported, a lot that we don't know.
Could it be something? Well, obviously Democrats are against apparently National Guard or any federal troops involved with things they claim.
We say that, but
So
after
maybe they thought
January
it could
6th,
inflame.
remember they set up all the fences and
fences for sure.
did all that.
I get it. It's just we're playing between political talking points, and if you just look at it from an objective standpoint, it happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. We shouldn't like it, you know. And then if you want to talk about the pardoning stuff afterwards, you know, for a law and order president, you still broke the law. Doesn't mean you should, you know, you still got to face your consequences. I don't care if it was with ill intent or not. If you stormed the Capitol, that was probably against.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of people that just walked through that got arrested and put in jail, and they didn't even know they weren't supposed to be doing that. I mean, they let them in.
You mean the people, they couldn't see the people like climbing the walls?
That was on one side of the
windows?
Capitol, but on the other, they literally were just letting them walk in.
Yeah, I guess let it go through the judicial system, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when we had Ed Tarpley on the show, because he represented some of the people that were ultimately sentenced, and the way he described like the whole process, the way like certain evidence wasn't allowed, a lot of details weren't allowed into the trials. I mean, it as bad as January 6th was, the aftermath of it, in a lot of the ways that people were prosecuted weren't good either.
It got politicized.
Yeah,
for sure, I
no
understand that.
doubt.
But there are some people that deserve jail time over that.
Oh, I think so. I definitely think so.
Like in the world where we have a guy with like a buffalo head on his shirtless ramming through the Capitol.
Well, he ended up getting out.
They were all pardoned, you know?
Well, it was before even before Trump took office. He had, I'm trying to remember what the circumstances were. I don't remember if they overturned something happened. But
It's just like
I'd have to do some research.
all I'm saying is just like what I ask in that situation, whether you think it was perpetrated by Trump or not, I don't think it was necessarily. It's just, it wasn't good. Let's just admit that it wasn't a good thing. If it was liberals doing that with Obama as president, everyone would be up in arms.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, we can't ignore it just because the president acts like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal.
My thing I just maintain is I don't think we've gotten the full truth about it. And I would like to know the full truth about everything.
Good luck with that.
I know. Exactly. Exactly. So
Don't hold your breath.
All right. Well, I don't want to hold my breath. I might pass out.
That's
then you
fine.
have to host the show by yourself.
No. Hey, it's tomorrow.
We need to take a break. We'll come back with your calls.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. General Electric will be making more of its refrigerators, stoves, and other appliances in the U.S. as part of a $3 billion expansion. The company will move production out of Mexico and China and expand its operations in several states, including Kentucky, Georgia, and Alabama. Oracle is cutting jobs in its cloud unit. It's the latest company taking steps to control costs as companies spend big on AI infrastructure. Sources tell Bloomberg that more than 150 workers were cut clients in the Seattle area. Last year, Oracle said it was moving its headquarters to Nashville, and the company currently has more jobs listed in Tennessee than any other state. And Apple is said to be working on a slate of artificial intelligence devices. Our tech writer Mark Gurman says robots, a lifelike version of Siri, and home security cameras are on the list. And U.S. stock futures point to a lower open for Wall Street. Wholesale inflation ramped up more than expected in July. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
LSU sports dominate the field, the court, and the diamond. And at Advanced Office Systems, we're bringing that same championship spirit to businesses across Louisiana. From large organizations to school districts to privately owned businesses, we deliver top-tier Canon and Toshiba copiers with fast local service, cutting-edge security, and cost-effective solutions. If your office needs a winning game plan, team up with the pros who always deliver. Call Advanced Office Systems today, where performance meets championship service.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds again for us on this Thursday. Afternoon highs up near 91, maybe 92 degrees. We'll put about a 40 to 50% chance of some mainly afternoon showers or thunderstorms. They could carry over to the early evening hours as well. We'll see the overnight lows down to 74. Partly cloudy skies. Again, the possibility of more showers and thunderstorms on Friday. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you, 442-8255, BOM Bank Talk Line. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I wish Jimmy Sautel all the best. But I do want to talk about January 6th in light of what Stephen was saying. Nobody liked what they saw up there. No conservative like that. But this is why this is my problem with what the left did and the attitude that you were espousing when you made up that comment, that they take the few people that actually did things that should be prosecuted, breaking windows. Nobody should break the windows in the Capitol. Nobody should force their way in the Capitol. But they tried to paint the hundreds of thousands of people with all of that. When we saw the video of what was happening on the other side, where the doors opened and people came through, there were carpet ropes, and people didn't even step over the ropes. And yet they painted them with all the same picture, the same brush, and then y'all ignore what happened in the years after that. There were people that were just in Washington, D.C. that were hunted. They were arrested, taken to jail. Sometimes they spent over a year in jail when they did nothing. They didn't even know that it had been broken into. We've never seen this in the history of our country. This is full-blown Gestapo tactics, where they grab somebody they don't like. They use their cell phone data to say that they were in that area, and then they prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, making the process the punishment. There were people who had their health wrecked because they were denied their medications. They were denied getting to talk to their family. See, I need young people like you, Stephen, to realize, man, that was a dangerous situation.
Yeah, but we use that. That's fine. You can still have both be true at the same time, but it's like, what we hear from the narrative on the right is we're just going to ignore the whole thing and pardon the whole thing.
No. Nobody ignores it. It's in relation to what I'm saying. Can you imagine? I've heard the testimonies of these people that were good people, most of them veterans, who were just going to D.C. to support President Trump. A lot of them never even got close to the Capitol, and they had their doors broken in. They were acted like they were all right there, breaking the glass and forcing their way in. And we know that was only 12 or 15 individuals. One of them was shot. Ashley Babbitt, a 102-pound woman, shot and killed. And we don't see the respect, not for the people, but for how grave, how egregious that abrogation of their rights, their human rights was. Man, we should be talking about this way past our deaths, our natural deaths. That cannot ever happen again, where a group of people takes control of their government. Now we find out that they denied Trump the National Guard that he wanted. Everything in this is stacked against the Democrats. Yeah, we see people always wanting to poo-poo the rights case and play up the Democrats' case. They did the things like Russia does. They said, the ones that came after Trump, they said, you elect me and I'll go get Trump. How is that ever considered American? Man, everybody in those districts should have been shocked, but they weren't, because they didn't like the man. And because they didn't like the man, they were willing to put up with circumstances that have never happened in this country before, and I hope and pray will never happen again. Because listen, we are not guaranteed what we have. Man, look at the rest of the world. We have what we have because people disciplined themselves to adhere to principles even when they didn't like it. I love a quote that Lincoln made. He was talking about our founders, and he said that they were men of iron. This was in a speech. He said they swore to their own hurt. Mm-hmm. Now, that means that when they set something down, even if it turned out in the end to go against them, they were not going to go against that. Now, we don't see that in today's politicians, especially on the left. And we have to get back to that. We have to make it bigger than us, or else our children, your precious child, they're not going to enjoy what we have enjoyed. Man, that scared me what I saw those people going through. If I'd had the wherewithal, I'd have been there. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have broken any windows, but I would have been there in Washington, D.C. on that day, and then they would have jacked my cell phone, and they would have hunted me down. They would have intimidated my family. Just read about what happened to those people. They were terrorized by their own government. And look, we expect that out of the other governments around the world. We see England arresting people for standing quietly beside an abortion clinic and say, you were praying, so you go to jail. We have all that. That is fact.
I get what you're saying. So you agree that all of them should have been pardoned?
Yes, I do.
Every single one of them?
Yes, because what they did basically was vandalism, and they more than paid the price for vandalism. I think they should have been pardoned after whatever the statute was in Washington, D.C. for vandalism or breaking into an official building. Once that time was up, which it had to be up, then yes. Because of what the people prosecuting them did. They denied them oftentimes the right to see their lawyer. They put them into these jails, and listen to their accounts, read their memoirs. They were abused by the jailers. They were denied their medication. We have people who died in jail, in the Washington, D.C. jails, because they wouldn't let them get their diabetes medication or their cancer medication. This is unprecedented. We have to recoil against it. You know, that I don't like that what they did in Vietnam was that proportional a ramp up, and we need to go all the way against this. We need to say this cannot ever be thought of again in the United States, that you go after people because of their political bend, and then you use the weight of government to make them not do what you don't want them to do. We have a court system. They should all have been subjected to the court system. It shouldn't have been, they shouldn't have hunted them down. Anyways, I didn't mean to go on so long, but this is serious. If we let it go, and if we poo-poo it and we say, oh, we don't like Donald Trump, so none of those people should have been pardoned, maybe one or two. But look, they put that guy in jail, the head of the Oath Keepers. He wasn't even in D.C. Right. And they put him in jail for 21 years. Now, he was pardoned, but I think he was pardoned, but 21 years, and he wasn't even there. Think about that. That should cause our blood to run cold.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know if I was there, I would know I can't go into the Capitol without permission like that. But
what if you were on the other side when the doors were already open? What would you have done then?
It's kind of like Norm Macdonald. One of his last jokes was the part about the riot that really disturbed me was the people walking in an orderly line behind the velvet ropes.
Exactly.
A lot of the claims too, and I'm not saying it's not true, like the jail conditions and the confinement. A lot of that's up in question too. A lot of that's used in tactics when it comes to going through your judicial process. So a lot of it is.
Listen, I'm gonna take the word of those people that suffered through it.
Yeah.
More than the people who I know they demonstrated after that they were willing to take the law and use it as a tool. Our laws are not meant to be tools to go after people we don't like.
Weaponized.
They're meant to.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're meant to maintain an orderly society where we can engage in arguments and debate and not be afraid that our opinion will cause us to be hurt.
Hey, I agree. The left was a little crazy with that. It's not me saying Democrat versus Republican. I'm just taking the case with that certain situation. I agree. The left were bullies and they're paying the price now.
No.
But the adjectives you just used, a little crazy. They were Stalinistic. That was Marxism. And what we have to understand is what Marxism is. It is government by violence. Anyways, I've taken too long, but y'all have a great day.
Thanks. I thought Victor Davis Hanson yesterday, there was an interview with him, and he made a statement in it that I just kind of rung with me. He said, you know, how right now you have a lot of Democrats saying they're trying to save democracy, you know, with the redistricting. Of course, the same states have done the same thing with their redistricting. He said, you've been the most vicious and most abject subverters of democracy, all for the short-term game of destroying Donald Trump. And I really think there's something to that. What the party has done to itself and what the national media have done to themselves, all to destroy Trump. I mean, look at like the late night talk shows and the networks.
I'm sorry. Like, I agree what you're saying, but to a certain extent. But the right always complained about the left being victim mindset. All I hear is wham, 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 Trump, Trump, Trump. He can't get his way, and they're always hurting his feelings. No. I'm not saying to be victims. I'm just saying that. But that's all I hear.
In the effort to try to destroy him, they really destroy themselves.
Exactly.
So there's no victim.
He still plays the victim card.
Yeah. I suppose.
That's not very conservative.
No, he does say stuff like, but I never get any credit.
He's been the president twice.
Like you said yesterday, I wanted a Kennedy Award, but I didn't get one. I really wanted one.
I don't know. The rhetoric, I get that the left has been bullies, but some of his rhetoric has been less than tasteful too. Let's not be.
Maybe rhetoric, but what about the action?
What do you mean the action? Like
KSYL.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Lux Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/styleupgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/styleupgrade.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson. A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air. She told me Israel Air. She told me. She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
And a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort, got your comfort.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
All right, we are back. I didn't hear the music play. Did I miss it?
I think it was short. I don't know.
Okay. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning, Alan Stevens.
Good morning.
Let me tell you, I've been listening at the radio since 16 after I was confined to my home after being sick with this fungus in 13. So I've been listening at the radio since 16.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the whole rundown about Obama, Comey trying to set Donald Trump up before he even was sworn in the White House. They started recording him and everything and tried to set up Donald Trump. So they have hated him since 16. They don't have no love for Donald Trump. All they have is hate and try to destroy Donald Trump and get rid of him and put him out the picture. But the grace of God ain't let Donald Trump went to jail now and then. And you know why? Because Donald Trump ain't really did nothing what these Democrats is doing. Now, the coronavirus, the Democrats, they know about it in 19. Dr. Fauci was working right over there in China with that disaster that went and took place. They didn't even recognize Donald Trump as being the president no more. They took over. And set him aside while they ran the Capitol the White House the rest of 19. Now, they were trying to impeach him, and he didn't even know that the coronavirus was spreading like that because they had him all crossed up, confused, and trying to destroy him. And then when he did try to do something about it and shut down everything, they didn't want him to do it. They still wanted them to let it be open. Why? To kill people. The shots is the one that kills the people, not the coronavirus. But see, they held medication back. They told the doctors that they couldn't give people medicine in the hospitals and things. And the ones that chose to do it, you know what happened? They fired them. People was working with the medicine. There was this one man, I don't know if he was a chemistry or a scientist, and he made the medicine, and he told that FDA or whatever it is that it was not good and not to give it to people. You know what happened? They did anyway, and they fired him. See? The Democrats had everything.
Trump was really the one
control.
who championed the vaccine and getting, like Cassidy talked about the other day, you remove a lot of the hurdles. And, even during this last campaign, President Trump would be out there and talk about, he'd try to take credit for getting the vaccine approved quickly, and people would boo him, and he didn't understand why. There was kind of a disconnect there between himself and a lot of his base on that issue, and then he kind of stopped talking about it.
Right. But what about that vaccine? He gave permission for them to go ahead and start making the vaccine. But he didn't have no participation in making it.
Yeah, I understand
and
that.
What they did and how they made that medicine and put that stuff in there together to destroy people's DNA. I'm hearing all this. To destroy them internally. And that's what happened. How people got sick and died the same day or the day or 2 or 3 days later. They farmed them, did them all kind of ways. And then when people complain about it and saying that happened, you know what? They didn't want to hear that.
Yeah, I heard
They didn't want to hear
But I
that.
mean, there's millions and millions of people who took the vaccine and are still walking today.
Yeah,
But it's a lot that died, and more people died from taking that vaccine than they did of having the virus.
I don't think so.
The incidence rate certainly is concerning, but the point is we've never really been told the truth about it. We haven't really been given honest
No,
numbers.
you ain't gonna never be told the truth.
Yeah.
But people took that vaccine. They immune system wasn't up. They hadn't been taking no vitamin C or vitamin D or zinc or anything like that. I started taking vitamin D3. I just be listening to that thing. So I'm 72 years old. Yeah, I made 72 last month. And I be paying thank you. I be listening at the radio, and I be listening at medical programs. I be listening at what's going on all over the world and everything. And I didn't vote. I didn't register to vote until 2002. And I asked this lady. I don't remember if the lady was white or black. And I say, how should I vote? She said, well, most people are voting Democratic. That's black. So I said, okay, so I'm really that's Democratic. But seeing what these Democrats been doing since 16, they are not no good. And I don't care who believe in them. But I know what done happened these 4 years. I know what they done done. When you gonna give lesbians, homosexuals, the men with their penis still on them for Women's Day last year, you know who got the who Biden's wife gave the bouquet of flowers to? A homosexual. They have did nothing but try to promote the homosexuals and the lesbians.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I do need to take a break because we're getting behind. So more Talkback coming up after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
Well, let's take a look at my husband Tom's favorite shirt. This is a ketchup stain. We got soy sauce over here, mustard here, Tabasco, chocolate syrup. I'm not worried. I'll just take it to Craig.
At Craig's Cleaners, tough stains are no problem. Finicky, hard, clean fabrics are no problem either.
Wow, honey, great job on my shirt. Now, what's for supper?
Just dependable, professional dry cleaning. Craig's Cleaners, 1746 Elliott Street, 1305 Metro Drive, or Highway 28 East at the Pineville Expressway.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we are back. We got a few minutes left in the show. Still time for you at 442-8255 here on Talkback. All right, things that make you go, From Jackson, Wyoming, a self-described wolf furry. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what a furry is.
Furry is someone who identifies as an animal.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy identified as a wolf. He was from Fort Collins. He's recovering in a Wyoming hospital after he had attempted to integrate himself into an actual pack of wild wolves.
Yeah. Whatever makes you happy, man.
Yeah. So approached the wolves while tossing raw hamburger meat in their direction as a gesture of friendship.
That's not funny.
He suffered multiple puncture wounds, torn synthetic fur, and several emotional disillusionments as well.
I could imagine.
I don't know if this is a true story.
There's
as I'm looking
furries. I don't know if they identify, but furries are people who like dress up in those.
All right. I think this is actually a satire thing. Somebody said this to me, now I'm reading through it, and I don't think it really happened.
It was on the internet. It's real.
Yeah, I should have vetted that a little more, but
made you laugh regardless.
It makes you laugh because you feel like it could happen.
No, I want to talk about vaccine stuff instead. Hey, have you seen the, and look, I know this is going to elicit some calls possibly. Did you see the Newsom and Trump back and forth over the redistricting stuff? Like the Newsom is just imitating his
He's
tweets.
doing like a beautiful rally or something. He wants to
It's kind of funny. Like the tweets sound just like Trump. I think whether I agree with him or not, it's just kind of funny.
The problem with Newsom is that he's such a horrific liar. I mean, his own people in California call him out constantly on...
So he's a politician.
He's the worst politician. He's the worst of politicians. I mean, just the Palisade stuff, just dig into that a little more, and yeah, it's not good.
Well,
it's not good.
We'll see. We'll see. I just thought it was funny.
He wants to run for president.
Well,
so
of course.
Everything with this is about him running for president.
Yeah. He's probably the front runner right now, if I had to guess.
Oh, my gosh.
For the Democrat Party.
My brother lives in California. If you want to know about the real Gavin Newsom, just give him a call. He'll let you know.
Well, he's conservative, isn't he?
He leans right. Yeah.
I can imagine he doesn't like him. So Ask some Californians what they think of Trump. I mean, it's like, you know.
A lot of them like him, actually, but they don't get representation in Congress.
Well, if you look at the popular vote in California, what is it?
I think this last election, Trump got like 35%, something like that.
So it was a landslide for Kamala.
But I mean, they only have like 12% representation in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's as if you can trust their voting process.
Yeah, Texas is about to do the same thing, so.
All right. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Just to follow up on what Dave was talking about, that day, and I don't think it's a coincidence, Nancy Pelosi's daughter and some people there to film a little video or documentary of what was going on. Now, they didn't just wake up that morning and decide to do it. That was planned ahead, I'm sure. And then also maybe sometime you could get Congressman Higgins on there to talk about the two bus loads. It was a Trailways or a Greyhound type bus showed up, and they had all been spray painted. They didn't do a good job, but they spray painted over the name and the numbers and the ICC numbers and everything. So see if you can get Congressman Higgins on there to talk about that. Two busloads of men showed up in unmarked buses, you might say, got out, and it was just I think they were just trying to make the Republicans look bad and cause problems, and I think there was a lot of it. So if you can get I like to call him Captain Higgins. If you ever seen the video when he was with the St. Landry Parish Sheriff Department?
We gotta go, but thank you.
Okay, have a good day,
man.
boys.
Let's just all have like an annual January 6th. We just storm a different capital in each state each week, because it's not a big deal. Let's just all do it. It's going to be fun. It could be like a new American tradition.
Hey, you guys got Stephen riled up here.
I actually don't. I mean, I do care, but have to talk about something.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers.